So today I thought I'd review this, my Nortent Vern 1 PC. Comes in this bag with two handles here, a loop at the end, carry handle there, double zippers. It's actually really nice. Measures 45 centimeters by 18 centimeters by 18 centimeters, which is 18 inches by 7 inches by 7 inches, and it weighs 3.5 kilos, 7.7 pounds. I'll get it set up. So the tent body is made of polycotton, which explains the weight. It's quite heavy, 3.5 kilos. Single wall tent. The idea is the polycotton does away with the necessity for an inner tent, and it's because it's breathable. Got a bag for the pegs and a bag for the poles. So there are 3 poles, each made of this, I don't know what it is, aluminium, yeah. So you've got 2 long poles and 1 short pole. The long ones you put in these sleeves. One on either side. And then you clip these things on. Finally, you take the shorter pole and thread it through this long sleeve from the other way. And feed it into these plastic receptors. So you can see it's a completely freestanding tent, including the porch, which is a good selling point. It's what I wanted this for. Beach camping, stuff like that is very important. I'll peg it out. Got these little Velcro straps here, hold the pole in place. One on either side. These are nice pegs, the cross shaped ones. Although it's freestanding, it's a good idea to peg it out, I think, anyway. It has ratchets, so you can tighten the peg out points. Got 2 there, and 1 over this side. Obviously 2 at the back, and 1 here. Additionally, you have tie-out points at this end and on the other end, but I've never really needed them. It is designed as a 4-season tent, so it's designed for blizzards and all that crazy stuff. Maybe one day. At either end, you've got these vent points. So these rigid sort of braces attached via Velcro to hold them out. 1 of those either end. All of these points here are Dyneema, so very strong, very durable. The clips are nice and thick. So you'll see it's a symmetrical design. This would be the back side. There's no doors there, but on the front you've got 2. One there. And 1 there. I'll tie them back, show you inside. Decent sized porch area. So you've got an inner door and an outer door on the main compartment. I've just opened both. So you can see there you've got 1 mesh door and 1 solid door. Like that. So there you can see you could have the solid door or just the mesh. Here it is with the doors both tied back. I'll show you inside. For a one-man tent, there's loads of room in here. It's more like a 1.5-man tent. It does feel really spacious. It's big enough that you can sit up inside. You could work here. If it was raining, you could close these off. Yeah, and you've got a decent little work area to cook and whatever you want to do. So this is where my sleeping pad would be. My arm is extended there. I've got a pack over there. You can see absolute ton of room in here. Really nice. You've got a hook here, which glows in the dark. Another here. You can see here the vents. I've got a nice big pocket there. And that's it. It's very simple. So the fabric of the main tent is 35% cotton, 65% polyester. The floor is an Oxford nylon. So yeah, extremely strong and extremely waterproof. Inside, the height is 100 centimeters by 250 centimeters by 200 centimeters. All the stitching, I have to say, is flawless. There's just not anything that I could criticize. As for the concept of having a single-walled 4-season tent, it does work. So you do get condensation in here, but it's not like you would on a normal single-walled tent. It doesn't get soaking wet. It's very odd. It's almost like the material absorbs the moisture and it does draw it away, because your equipment and your clothes or anything like that does stay dry. It has done for me anyway. The tent, to the touch, when you get up in the morning, feels a little bit slimy, which is a little odd, but it definitely does breathe. So I have extensive experience with single-walled tents, and I know how bad they can be. The first night with this, I was on a sort of a seafront, and it was soaking wet. I mean, absolutely soaking wet. But it was a cold night, and I think conditions conspired to make that an almost impossible test. Next time I was in a woodland like this, and it rained all night, it definitely didn't leak. And I had it with the... Let me think now. Yeah, I had both of these doors closed, the outer doors, and I had just the mesh on the inner one, and everything was dry. So, I have to say it does work. I think, my opinion, if you want a bomb-proof tent that'll survive any conditions, one man, so takes up a very small footprint, I mean it is tiny, is very easy to set up and is 100% freestanding. You do get freestanding tents and you still got to peg the porch out. This one you just really don't need to. It is self-forming. If that's what you want, and you want room inside, this is a good tent. It's a good buy. I know that the weight penalty is quite high, but you're not going to go through hiking with a tent like this. This is for those nights out. If you just like being out in the snow and whatever. I'd like to try it. We didn't get much snow this year. Hardly any in my area, so that's what it's for anyway. It's all well made, nicely designed. You can see it's absolutely rock solid. I do like that about it. I'm trying to think of the price. I'm going to look it up now. £490 it is now. I think that's a little more expensive than when I bought it. Is it worth that? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I know tents are expensive. You can spend a lot more, but you can spend a lot less. I've got a 2-man sort of tent, which is a lot lighter than this. Cost a lot less. What was that? Nature Hike. Monga 2. I think it was about 120 quid. Probably weighs the same, almost packs the same. It's not going to be as strong as a 3-season tent, but, you know... Yeah, I struggle. I'll be honest. I don't know. You'll know whether you think it's worth it or not. So there you go. There's my review. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing for more reviews. I have a main channel where there's lots more adventures. and I'm sure there's a couple with this, so if you want to see it in action, have a look in the description below and subscribe to that. Thank you very much. I'll see you again soon.